What's going on YouTube? This is Dave with K24 Performance coming to you from the garage. So I made that trip over to the machine shop. Machine shop was able to hone out the bushings for me, got them all nice and fitted, and right now I'm just checking my clearances. Just checked the rod bearing clearances, good on that. We got 2000s, which is perfect. So right now I'm checking the oil pump clearances because on the Z rod the these bolts right here, the rod bolts, they're a little bit more flat on the K24A4 than the Z rod. So what I'm doing is just making sure that everything's going to clear. Let me see if I can get a light in here. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see in there, but there's plenty of clearance. It looks like we got plenty of clearance. It's a little snug, but there's definitely enough clearance in there. All the way through the travel. So it's looking like we're pretty good right there. I still got 2 more holes to check, so we're not out of the clear just yet. I need to check these other 2 holes right here. I need to check right there, and then unfortunately I cannot use the Type S. The budget's not going to allow me to use the Type S pump. So I just took the old pump apart. So right there where the counterweights are, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Right there where those counterweights are, I got to make sure that the rod bolts are going to clear that too. And if we are going to clear everything here, I'm going to go ahead and stab everything together. I still need to check the so let's see if we get you guys down in there. So I need to check the right where the end of the cylinder is, the cylinder wall is right there, and make sure that we're gonna swing all the way around here. I'm gonna check. I'm pretty sure it'll clear. It looks like it will. Just make sure that everything's going to clear and we're not going to bind up on anything or hit anything. Because if we get to a point where we bind up, then I'm going to have to break out the grinding tool and start shaving away at stuff, and I really don't want to do that. So hopefully I can stay away from that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'll be happy. I'll work out. I still need to check the side clearance to make sure. I think we have to have at least a half thou of side clearance between the counterweight and the big end of the rod, the side to side clearance, and then I think after that we should be good, and I can pretty much lay everything out. And then get this whole bottom end of this motor assembled. If everything checks out there, and then the head's right here. So the next thing would be to assemble the head. The head came back from the machine shop, and we ended up decking the head, and we ended up doing a valve job on it. I just went ahead and just, you know, spent the money and just went ahead and did it. The block, all I did was just take my flex hone to the cylinders. Really didn't need to do anything as far as bore or anything to the block. All that stuff was surprisingly, everything was within spec. So I just took a dingle hone. I call it the dingle hone. It's the flex hone, but I took the hone to it, and then I ended up sending the block to the machine shop and had them. I think I think on the block it was like 3/1000 cleanup, which is not bad. And then the cylinder head, that was really nothing either. There was, even though this motor was overheated, it really didn't. It ended up being only like I think he said 3 or 4 thousandths to clean the head up. Okay, everybody. So I'm checking the clearances in between the stock factory pump, not the Type S pump. I'm just using the regular stock pump that came off this motor, and I come to find out, it's tight. Like the clearance between the rod bolt and the balance shaft on the oil pump, I only got about 19 thousandths worth of clearance there. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Pretty sure I'll probably gain a couple more thou after because I only did the first step on the rod cap, because I'm just checking. I don't need to torque everything down, but I did torque the pump down, because once I saw that, I needed to look up the torque sequence for the pump and then torque that down to make sure, you know, I have adequate spacing. It's 19 thousandths between the top of the bolt and the bottom of that balance shaft. I'll pan over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I've got my feeler gauge in there. Let me grab my, okay, here's my light here. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see inside there. Let me see. Okay, so you're probably not going to be able to see inside there, but there's the rod bolt, and then the feeler gauge is in between that balance shaft. It's kind of just sitting in between there, and I can't stick a 20 thousandths in there. It won't go. And then the 19 thousandths it's perfect. It slides in and out of there with a little bit of resistance, not very much. So I know that's about the clearance that I have right there. Everything was good on the first hole. I still need to check the second hole. So I'm going to pull this all apart and then move this rod over here, and we're gonna go ahead and check this to make sure that we're gonna have clearance. Okay, so we kind of got the same thing going on what would that be, a hole? Let's see, it's I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So hole 2, we kind of got the same thing going on where it's grab my flashlight. Sorry, kind of unprepared here. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's kind of the same thing where the balance shaft is. When I actually get the timing all set, I'll actually see if this stuff is going to interfere, but it's just good to check all this just to make sure. I would hate to put the motor together and then all of a sudden, you know, you turn the motor over and then you're hanging up somewhere. So this is all the stuff that I like to look at when I do a motor. I want to do it right the first time. That's another thing. I don't want to have to break down a motor again. Other times it's just because of bad parts, but when you don't have, you know, the mega budget to do, you know, the badass high dollar everything, this is the stuff you want to check, because when the budget's tight, you know, you want to make sure that everything's going to clear, because it'd be better if none of this stuff you know, was working. It'd be better just to stop and then, you know, save some funds, and then, you know, get the correct parts that are going to work. I know that the RSX not the RSX. I'm sorry, the RSX Type S pump would definitely work with the Z rod, just because you don't have all this crap here. You don't have all the balance shaft and all that other junk. And then on top of it, you get to, you get to spin it, to 9,000 RPM or 8,800 or whatever. Whatever you get out of it, I think you get another, 1,500 RPM out of it. I've actually seen guys spin them, depending on their rotating assemblies. I've seen these guys spin these motors to almost 10 grand. So it looks like everything's going to clear. It's with plenty of clearance on. I keep forgetting 1, 2, 3, 4. Got plenty of clearance on 4. It's tight right here on 3. It's about 19 thousandths on both sides, and then it's the same deal right here on cylinder 2. So just note, I feel like I'm the guinea pig here, which is not a big deal. I figured I was going to get into this when I ordered the rods. I didn't pay a whole lot of money for the rods either. I think I got the rods for like $60 off of eBay. So, and there was a bunch of sellers out there. There were some sellers were selling them for, $80. Some of them were selling for $200. I've seen them for $200. I saw them for, $110. But the average price, it seemed like it was right around 60 bucks. 60 to 70 bucks. I think shipped to the door with tax and everything, shipping and all that. Actually, no, I don't know if it would pay tax. I'd have to go back and look at the receipt anyway. I know it was somewhere in there. It was somewhere in between $60 and $80 that I spent for the rods. So, plus the other 20 for the pins, the bushings not being correct. I'll bring you guys back when I start assembling the short block, and then so anyways, again, Dave with Dini Performance. If you can, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys on the flip. All right, see you later.